All right, ready in the back. Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. It is 5 p.m., 5:01 p.m. You are at the Plan Commission of the City of Wausau, City Hall, 407 Grant Street, Council Chambers. We have one member absent tonight, so we have a quorum ready to go. Item number one is the approval of the meeting minutes from July 15th. I would entertain a motion. Motion from Balkin, second from Borneman. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Item 2 is a public hearing. It's a discussion on rezoning 405 South 8th Avenue from institutional zoning district to a multifamily residential 20 zoning district. It's for the City of Wausau Community Development Department and Community Development Authority. So before we ask for public comment, I think if Tammy Strotz could give it a quick introduction so everyone viewing and anybody here understands exactly what we're talking about.
Hello. Does that work? So the Community Development Department and Community Development Authority, Julie Berger-Myers here on the behalf of the authority, is partnering to, the authority purchased the lot, 405 South 8th Avenue from Marathon County at the end of last year with the designation that we need to provide affordable housing. And we have a deadline as of, I believe, the end of next year to have it completed. We've been working with Function architects as to what would be a good use. We're looking for an affordable housing rental complex. Function took a look at the site and came up with a design for 6 units. We're planning 3 one-bedrooms, 2 two-bedrooms, and 1 three-bedroom. So we worked with the planning division to find out what was the best zoning for that. And that's how we came up with this zoning recommendation. I know it says MR20, but we're nowhere near the 20 units. We're looking at 6, possibly 5, depending on cost, depending on other issues. We've had a neighborhood meeting. Alder Chad Hankey held a neighborhood meeting, so we were listened to several residents that came and talked to them. There's concerns, like all new developments, parking. It's a busy street, so there are concerns about traffic, of which Alder Hankey recommended that they do a petition for a crossing sign there, and I believe he's going down that path. I'm not sure where that's at right now, but I think it's a great idea. And the parking is consistent with the zoning. There is concern about 8th Ave is a narrow street, so there's no parking during the summer, or winter, sorry, because of snow plowing. And they're worried about visitors parking, but Callan Street is right up there, or a neighbor streets or avenues they can park to. We're also looking at working with a nonprofit housing agency to manage it. So there'll be snow removal, all that will be part of that plan. Is there something specific I can answer?
Well, we can get into that in the next item.
Sure.
So we'll consider that public hearing on behalf of the city.
Okay.
And I'm going to open it up to the public. Anyone here looking to speak for 405 South 8th Avenue? Hi, please state your name and address, and you've got the mic. You can bend it down if you need.
My name is Cheryl Zobel, and I live at 410 South 8th Avenue. So my house is facing the property that we're talking about. So what I'd like to do, I have a letter here that I wrote. I didn't get it to the mayor yet, but I have it here if you want it. And this is in response to the notice that was put on the lot that had three different dates that we needed to know about, but it was posted. The two papers covered with plastic, and it was pounded into the ground, and it is facing the street, but it's mostly facing the ground, meaning that nobody really got to see it. I happened to be looking out my window and saw someone pounding it in and wondered what that is. So this is how the residents were notified. So I wrote this letter. Mayor Denny, we are writing in response to the environmental assessment of 405 South 8th Avenue and your posted letter to the public in the parking lot at the same address. Your letter stated that the city of Wausau decided not to take action on how the project will affect the quality of human environment. This was based on the fact that the federal and state agencies did not have negative concerns. We, the residents of South 8th Avenue, would like our following human concerns addressed. South 8th Avenue is a very narrow street, measuring 24 feet wide. The no parking signs posted on the west side of the street are frequently ignored. Cars parked on both sides can limit passage of emergency vehicles. The steep incline of 8th Avenue has always created problems in the winter before plowing and sanding. During and after snowfalls, many drivers struggle to make it up the slippery incline, sometimes sliding into residents' driveways or boulevards. We would like to know the plans for apartment snow plowing and removal. Is there going to be space set aside for snow accumulations, stormwater, retention, pooling, and running? These affect surrounding residents. It is likely children will be residing in the new apartments. Is there any space in the property plans where the children can play outside? There are residents on South 8th Avenue without yards for young children to play. Throughout the years, these children often play on the sidewalks, in the street, and now in the now empty parking lot. This becomes even more of a safety issue when residents pull out of our driveways with children running downhill and not watching for cars. There was also a young child fatally hit by a vehicle on 8th and Stewart. With more cars of apartment residents and their visitors adding to daily traffic, we believe safety concerns will increase. Also, twice each day, there is foot traffic from John Muir students crossing 8th Avenue and Stewart. And this is another, this is another safety concern as the traffic will increase. We would like to request that these environmental and safety concerns are taken into account in regards to plans to move forward with the current building project at 405 South 8th Avenue. So those are most of our concerns.
Thank you. And if you could pass the letter to Tammy Strotz, she can get it filed. Thank you. Anyone else looking to speak on 405 South 8th Avenue potential rezoning? Last call. Any public commenters wishing to address the rezoning of 405 South 8th Avenue? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, and we'll open discussion up. That's item 3, discussion and possible action on rezoning 405 South 8th Avenue from institutional zoning to multifamily residential 20 zoning for the City of Wausau Community Development Department and the Community Development Authority. First, we entertain a motion. Motion from Borneman, second from Brueggemann. Questions, comments for staff? We do have Carrie Edmondson here as well to be able to answer some of the questions that may have been brought up.
Mayor Denny, is it okay if I just give a brief overview of the zoning map amendment?
Please, the floor is
Okay.
yours. Carrie Edmondson.
Okay, thank you. So just so the commission has a little bit of background on the zoning map amendment application, because that is under the commission's purview for tonight. So it's a 0.65 acre parcel, no longer in use by the university, and it is currently zoned institutional zoning district. So the uses allowed on that, within that district are things like professional office, it could be a daycare center, it could be a professional service business. There are a range of uses permitted under that zoning district as it stands now that would be permitted by right if an application were to come forward. So the proposed zoning district change is to MRM 20, which is a residential zoning district. So it's the name of it is MRM 20. There wouldn't be that number of units permitted just because of the size of the parcel. But that is a residential zoning district that permits a range of multifamily uses, both by right and conditionally, depending on the number of units and the development itself. And so that is the proposed change. That's the proposed zoning map amendment change. So just so the commission has kind of the analysis that we use, we think the proposal does encourage a mix of land uses and economic vitality. The comprehensive plan does outline that we want a mix of housing types and styles for the city, and we feel that it is consistent with that. It does align with comprehensive plan goals. The density is a little difficult to compare because we're going from commercial to residential, but we feel like residential is more compatible with that neighborhood than the uses that would be permitted now. And then also that the intensity would be lowered because it does go to a residential use mix that is permitted. And some of the concerns that we heard are valid. And I just want to reiterate that the proposal would be evaluated. There are multifamily requirements for that district, like green space, parking, et cetera, that would need to be complied with when we're looking at the proposal. So those things would be evaluated. And then just lastly, that we feel like the proposal allows for a greater variety of housing styles that meets our current market needs, that some people do want alternatives to traditional single-family development.
Thank you. And just to be clear, this is just for the rezoning. This is not approving this plan, this drawing, the bushes, anything that you see here is a potential site, but it's not etched in stone.
Carrie, I had one question.
Yeah.
The surrounding properties are SR7.
Yep.
What's the density allowed in SR7 for the surrounding properties? It looks like to be one duplex lot, but the rest of them are SR7. So is that meant only for single-family homes in those cases?
Yep, so it'd be single family primarily, and the minimum lot size is 4,000. And this lot is 0.65 acres, so it would allow, if all things went well with utilities and layout, there could be 6 of those single family SR7 lots on the size of this parcel.
And I get we're not approving proposed plans, but the proposed plans are 5 to 7 for density.
So the proposed plan is for 6 units, 3 ones, 2 2-bedrooms, and 1 3-bedroom, and they're kind of a townhome, like attached row home style.
Okay. Thank you.
So the decision process on that final design, whether it's 5, 6, or 7, can you step us through that just briefly?
Yep. So this development as proposed in this zoning district would be permitted by right. So it wouldn't be a conditional use process, it would be permitted by right. But it would need to go through inspections, building, they would evaluate stormwater. It would need to meet the zoning code requirements, both in terms of aesthetics, parking, green space, style, all the things that we would typically look at with any multifamily proposal.
Thank you. I guess the only thing that I would have left that I'd like to see is just to understand that how we post notices and who all gets them, how they're posted on the site. So I'd like to get a look at that letter if I could. And any other comments specifically to rezoning?
I have one.
Barnum.
Just so I understand this correctly, we're looking at 6 units here, but if they were subdivided, we made this all SR7, there would be 6 units there. So the density is pretty much the same. It's not like we're creating a small island of more people, more activity. So it could possibly be 6 residents there. rather than
Correct.
4.
And theoretically, I mean, with a single-family home, likely you would have more residents at each location. I mean, not necessarily, but 3 of these are 1-bedrooms. So, I mean, probably at most, you're going to have 2 people. Whereas if you have even a small single-family home, I mean, you could have a family, that could be larger. So, I mean, in terms of people, I mean, likely this would be fewer people.
And just to add, there is a mix of residences in the area, like maybe not on the immediate block, but if you can see on the zoning map there are duplexes, as mentioned. There's actually a PUD on 6th Avenue that is similar in style, I'd say, to this proposed development. It is on a major commercial corridor across from institutional large uses, so the area isn't just predominantly single family necessarily.
Thank you, Brett. Anything further? All right, with a motion and a second, seeing no further comment, all those in favor of rezoning and sending this do we send this to council at the September meeting? Yes. Okay, sending to council on September meeting, rezoning 405 South 8th Avenue from institutional zoning district to multifamily residential 20 zoning district for the city of Wausau and a community development authority. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, watch for that coming to council on the September 9th. Item 4 is a discussion and possible action on approving a permanent business sign at 205 Callan Street to allow a blade sign within the urban mixed-use zoning district. It's for CWI Construction LLC. This is an inspection item. Mr. Hebert.
Thanks, Mayor. This is a sign that was put up before we could get it on the agenda. So it's just a request to have a blade sign over off of Callan Street. It meets the criteria that's listed in the zoning code.
Okay. So Brueggemann, Balkin. All those in favor of approving the sign, the blade sign on 205 Callan Street signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Item 5, it's discussion and possible action on approving permanent business sign at 3103 North 13th Street to allow an institutional information sign with the institutional zoning district. It's a Stratford Sign Company LLC. It would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Brueggemann, Warneman, first and second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving a sign, permanent business sign at 3101 North 13th Street, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Item 6, discussion possible action on dedication of a portion of right-of-way of West Hill Drive between North 28th Avenue and Pine Ridge Boulevard, and dedication of a portion of right-of-way of Pine Ridge Boulevard east of the intersection with West Hill Drive for Aspirus Hospital, Inc. Entertain a motion. Watson. Larson seconds. Discussion? Brad, did you want to clarify anything?
Not necessarily. I mean, it did come to us from the INF committee in August. This is part of the Aspirus parking lot expansion on the west side of their main building, and it's in conjunction with some of the realigning of the streets and vacating some of the public streets that we saw last time.
Hey,
Mr.
work-
Chair?
Yes, sir.
I believe this passed INF unanimously.
Thank you. A work in progress, it's a big project out there. Okay, so motion and a second on this item, seeing no further comments. All those in favor of dedicating a portion as indicated of West Hill Drive between North 28th Avenue, Pine Ridge Boulevard, and a dedication of a portion of right-of-way of Pine Ridge Boulevard east of the intersection with West Hill Drive to Aspirus Hospital, Wausau Heights Hospital, Inc. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes. Next meeting is set for September 16th. Should be the same time, same place. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Brueggemann, Larson. Those in favor? See you later.